What's going on, guys? Rebel Tanker, and welcome back to Operation Chromite, turn 15 of historical board gaming's The Korean War. It is now after the holidays. I hope everyone had fun. Everyone was able to enjoy time with their families, enjoy good food, and just enjoy the merriness of the season. All right, so we have had quite the turn 15. Once again, we are looking at December 1952 to January 1953. Well, let's go. All right, South Korea with 44 bought 4 infantry in Seoul, and then bought 5 mech, 2 Katyushas, and a fighter in Pyongyang. China with 35 bought. Let's see here. China bought 2 mech, 2 fighters, and 5 supplies. Combat. All right. The communists went on a massive winter offensive. I guess we could say that they went on their own Battle of the Bulge Christmas offensive. So, from the main army in Sangju, we had North Korean and Chinese forces take Daejeon and Gwangju, take Cheonju, came down and took Wigwang and Masan, and came over and took Andong and Pohang. While a large force came down here and attacked the UN landing site here in Chinju, while also mustering a lot of their strength from Incheon and 38th West to attack that pesky capitalist beachhead here in Chuncheon. So most of these other areas were complete walk-ons. In Chinju, the UN, the North Koreans, excuse me. All right, so the North Koreans initially went into Chinju with, what was it? They went in with 6 mech, a Katyusha, 2 Katyushas, 2 tanks, and some fighter escorts from Seoul. They ended up killing 2 infantry, a mech, 2 SPA, and then capturing some supplies. And then the North Koreans lost 2 mech infantry as well. And then up in Chuncheon, where another glorious victory for the communist forces came. We wiped out 7 Allied infantry, 2 mech, 1 self-propelled gun at the loss of 2 mech. And in this fight, the remainder of the U.S. 80th Division was destroyed, along with the 23rd Americol Division. So definitely some heavy losses for the U.S. So far, at least at that point in the turn. And then on the non-combat, again, everyone's just moving south. The North Koreans did non-combat a mech into Wigwang, left 1 mech here, pulled the rest of their army back to Osan, into the clutches of into the warm embrace of their allies here. And then at the end of the turn, North Korea had initially capped out on the IPC chart at 50, though they could have gone a little bit higher, but because there's technically more than 50 IPC worth of territory on this map, but we just decided not. I just decided to cap North Korea at 50. So the North Koreans collected 50, and then China collected 35, but they did save 2, so they have 37 for next turn. All right, over to the UN, or the Allied forces. South Korea had 19 to spend. They bought 3 tanks. Oh, and there's supposed to be a supply here. 3 tanks and a supply. The U.S. with 50. Same purchases as always. Airsoft Commando decided to reconstitute the 2nd Infantry Division and the 35th Infantry Division. And then the UN bought an infantry, a mech, 2 self-propelled guns, and 3 supplies. Combat for the Allies. All right, the Allies did So they had to take all their forces from Pusan, and they made a couple attacks. One, they took four infantry and a mech, or 4 infantry and a self-propelled gun to retake Tinju, because the communists had taken Gwangju and Chinju. As far as I know from the original rulebooks, the only place where the UN could land its forces at this point would be here on Tsushima. So the Allies went to try and retake a landing port for the UN. The battle actually went pretty well in the beginning for the Allies. Their offshore bombardments were amazing. The 3 U.S. destroyers and U.S. battleship hit their bombardment. The 2 UN ships did not. So they knocked out 4 mech and a Katyusha right off the bat. And then when the landing occurred, they got the last mech and 2 tanks. Though on the counterattack, the on the counterattack, the communists got 4 hits, and they were able to drive off they were able to wipe out the 5th Infantry Division as it went ashore. Up here in Weiguang, the main Allied army attacked the lone mech. The mech was destroyed at no loss to the Allies. And then the Allies the U.S.'s 38th Division with artillery support made a landing in Pohang. They made an attack on Pohang. And they wiped out the mech there at no loss to them as well. Down the non-combats, they landed the UN forces in Chinju, landed their forces in Pusan, and pretty much rounded it out. Yeah, this Chinese unit in Masan is now cut off. He'll have one more turn at 2 or less for a defense before he drops to 1 or less. He cannot attack because there is no supply. And so this guy is effectively out of the game now, so unfortunately for him. And then at the end of the turn, South Korea collected 8 IPC, the US collected 50, the UN collected 20 plus the one they saved for 21. Alright, well that is it for turn 15. The Allies now have 6 territories to the Communist 31. This game is definitely going to come down to the wire in seeing who can achieve victory. Though, just between conversations between me and Airsoft Commando, everything seems to point to a communist victory. The communists will more than likely take the game, but we still intend to play it all the way out to turn 18 and just see where things are at. I guess one fun note I guess we can talk about, because Airsoft Commando was a little upset that I had made this attack on Chun-Chan. He was hoping that I would leave this alone, and then from here he would have taken his naval forces and would have come up into the East Sea, made landings here in North Korea to draw off more of these forces. But as I told him, Chairman Mao and Kim Il-sung were sick and tired of seeing this lone Allied dagger on the map, and they had ordered its complete destruction. And so all hopes of an Allied amphibious invasion into North Korea were thus squashed. Alright, well like I said, that's it for turn 15, guys. We'll be moving on to turn 16, February and March of 1953. And we will see you guys next time. So until then, guys, as always, take care.